We're not going to be taking calls tonight.
No,
because
kill
there's
the
too many of
Skype.
us.
Kill the Skype.
I'd rather it be more conversation here than I guess feeling bad because they're on the side, not really talking.
Yeah, and then you're constantly going, hey, what do you think? Like you have to like give them
some airtime.
Not even that, like you have to instruct them, like, hey, talk now. Like it's that kind of thing.
Now's your moment.
Because it's awkward. I've done it. You don't know where to jump in, and it's their show, so you're like, okay, and like you just feel weird because, like I said, you don't know the flow. You don't know these people really,
right?
So you don't know what you're capable of joking around with and what you're not allowed to joke
about.
Exactly. So it's always very awkward at first. Anyway, there's this whole not anyway. I'm not trying to just blow it off and go into this like it's nothing. Yep. But the wrestling world got hit, and I'm not going to talk about wrestling. Don't worry.
Because I don't know.
The wrestling world got hit with a bunch
this is kind of important though.
With a bunch of Me Too stuff, and I mean, I said to Jess when it all went down, I'm like, it's a boys' club. Is anyone really surprised that I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm like,
you're not going to be surprised.
Yeah, no one's like, get the fuck out of here.
There's no way.
There was some kind of crazy shit sexually going on between the men and female wrestlers. I am fucking stunned.
All that testosterone and steroids.
Exactly, and everyone,
have to be right back.
Yeah, everyone trying to alpha male each other. Like, we've been around wrestlers like this much, but what I've noticed is it's very hard for them to turn it off. And when you're in that world, it's literally me against the world. No one else is going to help you. And they're cutthroat. They'll lie. They'll fucking deceive. They'll do anything to get to the top.
Yeah.
Like, it's a crazy, fucked up business. So all these girls now are coming out. And what the hell was the name of their movement? I wish I wrote it down. Speak up, or... I'm sorry for the whole movement. I don't remember the name.
You're not talking about the Me Too, are you?
No, it's Me Too, but in wrestling, and it's like Speak Up or
it's like their own little
because honestly, once this ball started getting rolling, like it was a big fucking ball very fucking quickly.
Yeah.
And again, not with big names. Like you don't see John Cena up there or Batista.
Right.
You see a bunch of fucking indie guys that 99% of the people on the planet have no idea who they are. So all of it's going down, and I'm going through Twitter, and I'm looking through the feeds, and I come across just some random fucking dude who's got a podcast, and he hits up one of the girls and goes, hey, would you mind coming on my podcast and you could tell your story? And I'm like, ew. Like, you're trying to get heat for your podcast by this girl's rape story, but playing it off is like, I'm giving you a platform when you have 37 followers on Twitter.
Right.
Like, you don't have a platform. I don't care what you think.
You're trying to get one from doing that.
Exactly. Like, I don't have a platform, and I've been doing this forever, and we have much more people than that guy fucking did. So I'm like, that's so gross to me, that behavior, that you think it's okay to hit up a rape victim, potentially, and be like, hey, don't know you from a hole in the wall. Come on my podcast that 4 people will listen to and tell us your rape story.
Yeah.
What?
That's fucked up.
Like, we don't know each other from a hole in a wall, but please open your soul to me and tell me about the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your entire life.
And don't worry,
and trust that I won't tear you apart.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just gonna say. Don't worry, I'm gonna ask you questions too, so you better be prepared. Like, what the fuck? But why would you think that's a good idea to ask somebody? For one, for two, if she wanted to do a podcast, she'll pick one. Like, she's not going to be like, oh, the random Twitter guy.
Pick yours, buddy.
Yeah, the random Twitter guy was like, yeah, I'll do that one. Instead of like, I don't know, who's big that does one? Chris Jericho, or someone like that. Or someone that's on a much higher level than fucking Fred the wrestling fan from Twitter. Yeah, right, mama?
I think that hot dog.
Yeah?
Yeah, here I am. Guys, whoa. Hello.
Yeah, well, we were talking about the whole thing with the wrestling, but I was saying how on Twitter I noticed like guys trying to get to the women who are victims.
Like, get to them like what?
Come tell your story.
Mean?
No,
oh.
Come tell your story on my shitty podcast that no one listens to.
All right, so this is my thing about it. As a woman, okay, I do understand that some men can be pigs or they can be out of line, but you're talking about wrestling. You're not offering me Scarlett Johansson's job, right? And I'm going to blow you to be a wrestler?
Well, some female wrestlers do get very famous.
Some.
Yeah.
Some.
Well, only some men do. I mean, how many male wrestlers can you guys name? Probably 5, if that.
Yeah, but they don't watch it. Like, they don't know.
That's my
wrestling
point,
like
though.
that. Like,
That's what I'm trying to say. Is that the likelihood of becoming a household name in that game is very small because the
That's
regular
my point.
people is what I'm saying don't know.
As popular as it is, it's not exactly like a movie star
Yeah.
status
This is my
situation.
point, though. Then why would you not put yourself or allow yourself to be in a position to do things and then years later complain about it? You know, it just for me, I'm going.
No, some of these were like full on rapes.
What
Like,
about the ones you were telling me about? Who was talking
Oh,
about?
Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
Oh,
what,
yeah.
what you were
All right.
telling me about was
No,
like
yeah,
she willingly.
This
I
was a
did the
person
things.
that, as I put it on my show, it's Vince's arch nemesis. For like decades, these two have been at each other. And this guy used to run this company called OVW. It was like the minor leagues for WWF at the time, or
It was like the
WWE.
farm team, basically.
Yeah. And he ran it. He booked it, which means, he was the one who decided who faces who and who's going to be champ and yada yada. Allegedly, him and his wife were grooming people. Do you know what grooming is?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very disturbing term. when
Yes,
comes
it
to
is.
this.
It's basically getting like a younger person and molding them into the person you
Yeah.
want them to be for your pleasure
Mm-hmm.
and satisfaction. And then using their power to give people spots on the roster or, even a job there or a contract or,
anything to just keep them on the line. from
well,
leaving.
to get them, thinking, you do this, we're going to give you what you want. You're going to be a
Right.
star.
It's quid
you know?
pro
Right.
quo, but
When-
they're never actually getting what they want
Right.
out of it. They're
Yes.
given just enough.
Well, here's the thing
to
with
keep
wrestling.
them.
Yep.
The only way you get put over in wrestling is by getting over with the fans. If the fans don't like you,
It doesn't matter what you do.
Exactly.
They could put you on every night. They can make you the champ. They could do anything they want with you. But
Yeah.
if they don't respond to you, they're not buying your merch. They don't give a fuck about you.
Exactly.
They're not cheering
Hey, everybody,
for you
what's
or
up, Kathy?
booing for
Yes.
you. Like,
so
Yeah.
to think that this guy somehow could magically make that happen for you is crazy. Because
Yeah.
if he could, be like, well, why haven't you done it with the other people you've worked with? But you're young, you're dumb, you're probably homeless or near homeless, and you're like, hey, anything to get my spot, I'll get more money.
or a chance of it.
Yeah. But to use that power is kind of gross. But then this fucking pig of a person.
He was laughing on another podcast. Like, "Psh, I had bitches blow me all the time.
No.
You
Now
want a
you're talking
spot?"
about Joey Diaz. This is different.
I thought that was
No,
Jim.
that was
Oh,
Rogan.
oh,
That
my
was
God.
Rogan.
I was listening to him listen. I thought it was the
Yeah.
same person. Like, and I get blowjobs all the time. Girls come and go. I'm like, what? How could you even brag about that right now? I
See,
mistake
again,
the
it was
person.
out of context. That clip, let me finish the wrestling thing. So, anyway, this guy's a piece of shit. Talks mad shit about her uncle, but then also about his wife and his kids. Like, nothing was off limits for him. His wife and kids, obviously, have nothing to do with the wrestling business.
course.
His wife was a manager in the wrestling business. She was part of wrestling and, like, not a manager, like, behind the scenes manager. I'll walk the wrestler out and...
Yeah.
So she's in the limelight, and then all this goes down, and he's like, please stop, my wife, she's crying, and yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, had no problem attacking her uncle's innocent, literally never worked a second in the wrestling business, and he was attacking her and their children. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, the fucking ball's on you to try to make people feel bad for you. Like,
Yeah.
you're a piece
Yeah.
of shit. But the Joey Diaz thing to get to real quick. Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz, people try to cancel them too, which you're never going to cancel Rogan. His army's too big.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Joe Rogan's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I love his podcast. I do.
I enjoy him thoroughly. People that don't like him, whatever. Not everyone likes the same shit. But there was an old clip from 2014
Yeah.
where Joey Diaz is telling old stories. Old stories of when he was on drugs, when he was working, I guess, at a club or a
So all
comedy
the fucked
show.
up shit he was doing
Yeah.
back in the day, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you know Joey. Do you ever listen to him? Or all right, you listen to him now. He's not the type of guy that would go, "I was doing that and it was so fucking cool." He would be like, "Oh, I was fucked up, Joe. We were doing this shit." But he's not like glamorizing it. He's telling his
This
life.
is what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
I fucked up. It's not like he's going, "This was awesome. What I was doing was good." He'll say it in a way like, "I was really fucked up. He was on drugs. He kidnapped somebody." Like,
He's
was
not promoting what he
kidnapped somebody.
did.
He was a bad
It's like, I had a
person.
bad day. Kids
So,
up to kidnap somebody. It was fine.
If you're listening to him, though, you know where everything's coming from. No one's listening to Joey and going, "Man, this guy seems like a really nice guy," and like, he got his shit together. You could listen to him for 10 minutes and go, "This guy's fucked up. He went through some shit." So to hear those stories, it's like, yeah, it's fucked up he did that. A lot of people have done it. At least he's man enough to go, I did it. It's fucked up.
I shouldn't have done it.
He didn't have to get exposed, is my point.
Right.
He came out before even exposing on national podcasting, whatever the hell you want to call it, and said it on his own.
Right.
So
He
there's
wasn't forced to say it, acknowledge it, and apologize.
So
for
there's
it.
regret there. Like, and we only saw the 30 seconds of him explaining what was going on. Not what was said before, not what was said after.
Right.
So completely out of context, all you hear is, yeah, that girl's blowing me all the time for spots. And, you know, hearing that, you go, wow, that's really bad. And it is. It's really bad. But, again, he recognizes.
He's
what
reformed.
what a piece
He's
of shit
not
he was.
promoting that what he was doing was good or right. It's just, this is what I did. It was fucked up. I probably shouldn't have done it, but this is my story, and that's it.
But that's like being, you know, someone gets into a fight, they end up hurting the guy really bad, goes to jail for 10 years, wants to become a comic, and then everyone's like, you hurt that guy 10 years ago. No, fuck you. It's like,
Yeah.
I
Like you're not
can't-
allowed to change
At all.
evolve,
Exactly.
become a better person,
Yeah.
or learn from your mistakes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me
Mrs.
be a piece of
Perfect.
shit for the rest of my life
Yeah.
then.
So I want to bring up something really quick, and I thought about this the other night because it had me on. I couldn't fall asleep. Tell me why. All day you have stuff on in the house, or all day you got the TV on. You could shut the TV off. It's fine. But at night, you shut that TV off, and it's making noises all night.
Like those little
Like the
pops
ting,
and ticks.
And I'm going, why at night only do TVs make noise? And if you didn't notice it before, now you're going to notice it.
Well, I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
I'm going to explain to you. TVs on the inside, they heat up.
Yeah.
TVs are made of plastic,
Yeah.
which means there's interlocking parts. It's not just one big shell. So like
Right.
there's a line here, a line there. When the plastic heats up, it expands slightly,
Right.
pushing against the plastic. When it cools down, shrinks.
I never
So-
hear it in my living room.
Because we're not in our
It's
living
always
room.
on. You don't sit in your living room after
Like we don't
you turn
shut the TV off and then
I
sit in the
want
living
to
room.
know if anybody else ever deals with this, but this is what I'm saying. It could be an hour or 2 hours later the TV's been off. It's on. All of a sudden it's like pock. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's
It's
settling.
like popping noises, static noises,
It's science.
But also too, like ready
or
like,
aliens.
like legitimately, it's,
or
it's
aliens,
science.
but
Or
also
aliens.
too, like say something's on a slight slant, right? And the weight's not heavy enough to really push it, but it's just enough to kind of get it going. And now 45 minutes pass, and finally it goes, doop, and just does that tiny little drop that it's been waiting to do.
And if you're going to sleep and you're not, there's nothing else on, there's nothing else to distract you, you're noticing things you would have never noticed
Yeah,
before.
like-
I
You're
have to
listening
be
to a
honest.
pin drop.
I feel like the TV is like, you know, because things come through electric. So,
I mean, if you want to jump on the alien thing, I'm all for that too.
well, we have other stuff to talk about with that.
That's
but this
fine.
specifically, like the TVs itself, I'm laying in bed and saying to myself, I never hear the TV ever make noise at all. But at night, here we go. It's clipping and clapping, and I'm going, what do you want? Who's trying to talk to me right now? Is it like a someone's trying to get in touch?
No, it's just the TV expanding and contracting.
He's always my grounding to
But
my.
it's the same with a house. Like you ever hear someone say
It
the house
settles.
Yeah, the
settles?
house
It's the
settles.
same thing
Why only at night?
because that's when it's silent and you hear it.
Yes.
there's
So
nothing
you're
else
telling
going
me that
on.
during the day there are cracks going on we don't hear?
Probably,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Well, if
also,
you-
there's movement too, so the house isn't settling. We're constantly
Yeah.
rocking it.
Well, also though, if you leave your TV off in your bedroom all day long, never turn it on, then go to bed and see if you still hear it. If it's not been used for 24 hours,
I'm gonna have to do that. It's hard though because we fall asleep sometimes with the TV on.
Right,
Sometimes,
but that's
every single
why
night.
switch it up because it's like they said on all day, so it's heating up and.
But the bedroom TV's never on during the day. It's only at night.
Okay,
But it
so
does-
but it's
okay,
right
but-
after you turn it off and you're going
Yeah.
to bed.
You guys
Yeah.
are too logical for me.
No, you're
Listen,
just
I'm ready to go on the crazy
turning
train.
into a
Okay.
conspiracy
Aliens and
theorist over here.
Decepticons.
All right, so Decepticons, all right, and aliens, that's just something I'm into. But now, this was just recent. In Brazil, there was these two men late night fishing, and they were in like a small lake area, and you could see another island across from them. And they had noticed, like, not too far, but in afar, there was 3 lights in the sky. And they were part of one piece, they weren't separating, but that it had a beam of light hitting the water. And now when they noticed it, they were like, oh my God, this has got to be something. This is a real article. I'm going to post it on my Twitter. They noticed something, so they laid down in the boat because they were scared. And they watched it pass by them and then land, across on another island. They saw it drop down with 3 huge metal prongs that dropped out. The next morning, they were like, we have to tell people what we saw. We have to tell them where it went. And they went to the island. Now, there are imprints in the ground from 3 things that landed that they can't explain. The Air Force said they had no anything in the air at that time. They drew like a picture of what it looked like because they didn't take a picture of it. And they're now investigating because not just that, but there were also pilots a year or 2 back that had seen and have video of a craft in front of them, and they're talking over the radio going, this thing is going past the speed of light. This thing is going so fast, we can't keep up with it. Babe, you saw that video, right?
Yes, the speed of light term was not used, though. But they said we can't keep up with it.
Okay, I love you.
Can I say, I love everything about this right now.
I love it, too. Now, did you ever...
It makes me very excited.
Did you ever think of, like, having contact, or, they do that...
the fifth dimension.
No, the fifth... what is it called? Oh, shit.
That's what the movie was, the fifth dimension, where you come into
the
actual...
fifth kind. It's something of the fifth kind.
Oh, Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind.
Is
Yeah.
there.
Oh, at the end when they do with the music?
Yes, but that's of the third kind. So there's 4 total,
I
like
didn't
right
see
now.
all of them.
And then the 5th is when
You try to contact
you
them.
try to attract them by using lasers and shit like that.
And there's a way to do it. And they say that they do like retreats in Arizona. My mom and my brother Robert actually went, and they did the TP tent and everything.
And the whole thing.
And my mom saw a UFO. Now, my whole thing about this whole UFO, are there aliens, blah, 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 I want to know what we would be so afraid of if after all these years we've had sightings and they haven't hurt us at all. What would make people so afraid of maybe there is another living form in another galaxy?
The unknown. Humans fear the unknown.
I would rather know the unknown than fear it.
You would think that. Like, listen, if I have a box here and I say, close your eyes, not telling you what's in the box, put your hand in it. What's your first reaction going to be to that?
I'm just going to ask as long as it's not a spider.
Okay,
I'm
but
not
that's
gonna
the
tell
thing.
you.
You don't know.
As
Just
long
put your
as-
hand in the box and shut up. Like,
Also, like, who's
It's
to
unknown,
say
it's
they're not
scary.
just coming in real quick, getting like a real close look at me, like, yeah, right, got that, let's get out of here, until they finally decide to really strike.
ooh, they're observers.
Or we have some of their ships and people, Area 51 underground, which is this video that's out there right now, Encounters of the Fifth Kind. It's a doctor who came forward saying they're not telling us everything because they don't want us.
Well,
But he
course
also
not.
said that they do trade-offs, though. Like, they trade off humans. Like, when you hear of abductions, it's, them.
It's planned.
Yeah, they're trading it off.
basically.
It's like, you can check us out, we'll check you out, and let's see what's up.
And he said that he's pretty much in hiding, right? He was not.
No,
I don't
he was
think
on the documentary, so he's
he
not
left.
hidden too well.
But he left. No, he was saying that he was afraid for his life for a while. Because he was afraid that the government would try to stop him from talking about what he knew. His 2 friends had killed themselves over it.
See, what's fucked up about these situations that always get me on the fence, it's like, well, we're raised to listen to that guy and go, oh, he's fucking crazy.
Right.
But then also you're like, what if he's not? What if
Right.
he's the one? Like, I always had this theory, even as a little kid. When the first time I went to New York City, I seen a guy, and he was talking to God, and you know what I mean? He was homeless, crazy. But as I grew up, I was like, what if he really was like the one talking to God, and everyone's just like, yeah, right, you nutbag, get out of here, you homeless bum, and everyone's just like, fuck you, you stink,
Right.
And he really is the one talking to God. I was like, wouldn't that be fucking
Like,
crazy?
there's something different about him, and nobody knows quite what it is, but they all label him as crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
But when in reality, he sees or hears more than everyone else does.
That's-
It's like the color spectrum on animals. They see colors that we can't even imagine because our eyesight just isn't
I
designed
thought they
for
just
it.
see black and white.
No, that's
No,
dogs.
that's dogs. They see in
Oh.
grayscale. But other animals, their spectrum is beyond what you can even imagine.
Like insects, forget it. Like those motherfuckers got like 80 eyes and see in every direction, and it's insane.
What I feel about, there being another galaxy or whatever, like, I will run with it. I'm like, what if it's like Bizarro Land and it's us, but in a different time of our life, going through what we're going through, like, because we're trying to learn the same things or whatever? Or what if it's like
Guardians of the Galaxy, the nice place they went to with Glenn Close?
Right.
Where they protected the fucking stone.
And they're
remember?
just checking up and saying, okay, they're kind of
Oh,
okay.
But what if
Hey.
it's a really cool place like that, where there's some alien type of people, but mostly
Don't
like
judge
human
me.
type of people?
Don't fucking judge me.
I just feel like it's something that we should, instead of being afraid.
Well, you're just
Well, put your
assuming
hand in the
people are
box,
afraid,
then.
though. But who's afraid? I think most people aren't afraid. I think at this point,
They're
most
just
people are just
curious.
curious.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fear. I think it's curiosity.
Well, there's
I'm not
also-
afraid of an alien invasion.
Yeah, but you have to factor in also the way most people see aliens is from what they're learning from movies.
Right, green
Yeah.
guys,
Green
They,
guys,
they didn't watch
Grays,
Paul
they're
because that's my
attacking.
reference. And Paul was
Paul's
the shit.
totally cool.
He was funny, smokes weed. I like Paul.
But that's like there's only one Paul.
Well-
it's like the minority
But
of
what was fucked up
that
about
genre.
Paul is that he was the one who supposedly created the whole alien imagery and
Yes,
remember?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part of the movie, but it was funny.
Yeah, like he was
He's the whole reason humans thought of humans in the way they thought of them. It was by his design.
Yeah, and he
Wow.
also like
This-
wrote movies
Another
and
one I haven't
books.
seen.
Like he was responsible for so
I got
much
nothing.
shit.
I got nothing.
But all the alien stuff, the conspiracy stuff, and everything, it was him. Just giving it to whoever to get the info out there.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Anna about this because she's my alien child. We talk about it all the time. And she was like, Mom, how cool would I be if I was hanging out and all of a sudden I'm like, sorry guys, my best friend's here to pick me up, and they come down and they have this ship and they're like, come on Anna, get in. I'm like, peace
Beam me
out,
up, Scotty.
best friend's an alien. And I was like, that's actually a really good way to think about it, baby. If they come down, we're gonna make them your best friend.
My daughter's 20 and thinks of that. Like in her spare time,
I see
God bless her.
nothing wrong with
No,
any of
I
that.
love her to death, obviously. But like, I'm like, that's just such a weird, random thing to think of, and then to have to verbalize it, be like, I just had this thought, Mom, aliens coming. Boop.
Yeah, boop, and she does it
Peace
just
out.
like that.
At the end, like,
I'll
all
see you in
right.
a couple days.
But like, how are you supposed to respond to that other than like,
That's a
cool.
great
All right.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather be like that, but more or less, I'm interested in doing this kind of trying to contact them. Would you do it with me?
I've heard some
She's like,
stories. Okay, so
her lip starts to shake.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have a friend.
Okay.
And she kind of started telling me a story about how her boss had an experience with an alien, but she said, I can't tell you all of it because
That's heavy
it'll
stuff, man.
terrify you.
What?
And it was
Wow.
just, she's like, it's the most simple thing, but it's just, she's like, if I say it out loud, it's like almost as if you're
Can she call
calling
into the
them.
show and tell us it?
I mean,
Oh my God, I don't want to do that because if it's like
she's
you're
not
calling,
going to. That's the thing, because she said basically when you tell someone about this, it basically signals you're ready.
Oh, we're not taking any calls, dude. Sorry. Yeah, we don't even have the Skype open.
I'm sorry.
It's his 30th birthday.
Whose?
Aaron Pavis.
Aww.
AP, you know the logo. He's a fucking.
ahead.
He retweets.
Go
All right,
ahead.
we're gonna open the Skype. Aaron, you
I
can call in.
I shut it only when we have the four of us because I feel like it gets too overwhelming and then someone's just sitting there. We will definitely take your call.
I'm opening it up right now. Give me 2 seconds.
I apologize for my two bandaged fingers here. I cut myself, of course, twice in one day. But I feel like, though, I would like to just talk to them.
All right, it's open.
So I'm going to put, when I do this, into the universe that I'm not willing to leave Earth. I am willing to talk to you. I'm willing to contact you. But I'm not leaving here. So you have to come here. And that's kind of how I'm going
They
to
have
start.
to go on your terms.
Yes, my terms with my, and I will not allow you.
Shocking. Your terms, huh?
Yeah, I'm not going to allow you to take me from my element, but I will talk to you. I will be a part of this.
Such an uncharacteristic trait of yours, like to have it on your terms.
I want.
Are you trying to pull her out of her vortex?
I'm definitely in the vortex right now, but you're just giving me
I'm
trouble.
just saying, it's
Turbulence,
very
turbulence.
odd of her to make those type of demands.
Well, wouldn't want to go with them if it
Like,
wasn't.
balls on you to be like, hey, new species.
I'll talk to-
I'm not even a leader of this fucking planet, but you're gonna do what I say, or deals off.
No, not that I'm saying. I wouldn't say it like that. I would obviously
That's
be like,
basically what
look,
you're saying,
Exactly how
though.
it sounds.
that's not what I would say it like. I would say it more or less like I'm interested in getting to know you, and don't mind if you want to get to know me, but you cannot take me from my family. I'm afraid to leave the earth and not be here.
Like, you just think you're just gonna have this regular ass conversation just like that? Like, that's
Yes.
gonna just go down like that?
Yes.
Like, you're just going to put one arm on his shoulder, like, check
No
this out.
arm, no.
Alien, check this out. Check this out. All right, here's the stipulations.
I probably won't have to speak because they'll know what I'm thinking.
They'll just x-ray it.
But I want the experience of just saying, well, come on. I mean, I would be crazy to think we built those pyramids with sticks, right?
Ooh, I love that theory.
Right,
no,
with
not that.
sticks.
What it was
Katie,
with sticks. What?
plug one of those headphones into that gold thing there.
This one here. It's the truth. We have things all over the world that were happening back when we didn't have any type of tools except for rocks and sticks. You're telling me they were able to fucking build a pyramid in perfect precision that way?
Yeah, they had slaves to do
Yeah,
it.
no.
They killed
I don't
probably
believe it.
thousands and thousands
And
of
even
people
on the
doing
walls in some of the pyramids, they
keep
have
going.
inscriptions of other beings helping.
it. Have you seen the Romans, what they've done? They did incredible
see if it goes in.
things.
Do as the Romans do.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Yeah, but
with
it
just a
doesn't
chisel
say.
and a fucking
It
spike,
does.
the Romans made David. They made the Colosseum. They made the most beautiful statues. You get what I'm saying? So, like, it's possible.
Do you
not
know how
impossible.
big those pyramids are? How high they go?
Yes, and with pulley systems and shit, it's totally possible.
And perfect.
I love the idea that.
But you
aliens
act like
did
it happened
though.
overnight.
It
Like,
didn't happen overnight.
That's what I'm saying. And they had slaves. So work until you're dead, and we'll get new people to continue your work until they're dead. They didn't. It's not like they had like unions and they were like, fuck, they're on strike again. Yeah. No, it was work or I'll kill you and work until you're dead. That's your life.
Imagine I'm
now.
like, I'm a part of the union, please. I'm in the union.
Yeah, like, hey, Egypt guy, you're whipping me a little too much. So our contract says 10 whips a day. That was easily 11 already. Come on, enough is enough.
I don't know. I would like to think that there is other source out there. I mean, when we die, when our bodies die, our energy, right? That is what keeps us alive. Where does our energy go? Yeah. The body's dead.
You guys want to take that one?
But the energy, our source energy inside, where does it go?
What is it? Oh, this is going to be bad. But there's something about energy. You can never create it or destroy it. It always just is.
Is. Right. So, there's my thing. What this energy we are, and being they have one gene in every human being that they can't figure out what it is. What if we were to turn into this energy and go to wherever they are and then start over, because they say reincarnation, you come back, we try different things, we learn different
I
things.
kind of believe a little in reincarnation.
Where do we go? What if they come down? They go, listen,
Where do
you
we
come
go?
to us. Might as well make the relationship now.
So then maybe it is celestial though, because they also say that we come from the stars.
Right.
So what if
My
that?
mommy says I'm an angel.
Well, you are an angel.
God, I hope your mother's
Sweetest
listening
angel
tonight.
There is.
No, but true story. But that energy would go.
Right, but I'm saying, like, what if it goes out into the universe and it comes back, and it can come back as anything because
Yeah.
it's just energy at that point.
What if he came out like a maggot?
But then
A
that's
maggot?
a maggot with some energy.
Maggot.
It has to-
That's your life
I think
now.
it
You
has
say
to
a
be.
magnet.
Hey, what's
Maggot.
going on,
Isn't
buddy?
it? It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
all
All right.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see
Ghosts
us.
and
I
magnets.
see him.
I know. All right, we got a Mr. Aaron Pavis on
What's
with
going
us.
on?
Hey,
What's up?
Aaron, what's up?
Hey.
Are we all good?
Yeah,
great.
we're golden. We don't have another camera, and Richie knows how to do that other thing, and I don't know how to do
The other
it.
one
So
is
you're just going to
probably
hear
another
us,
one.
basically.
Have you ever heard the expression steaming? Do you know what steaming means?
No.
Steaming means
you know why?
absolutely, in
why
American
he
terms,
means
it means really drunk. I'm absolutely steaming.
So you're wasted.
Oh, he's wasted.
Yes,
Oh,
wasted.
that's mine.
Yes,
Sorry,
wasted.
baby, sorry.
Yes.
I got hers.
No, I need it.
Oh my goodness, you just blew my eardrums
We're
out.
just celebrating. Happy birthday! It's his
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, it's his 30th birthday. So congratulations.
30th, you are so lucky. Happy birthday.
Where are you from? Dublin?
Belfast.
Belfast. Another. Look at that. 2 for 2 with the Irish people on the shows
Yeah, I
tonight.
was tweeting you the other day. Did you have Husey on tonight?
Yeah, we had.
Oh, I
Husey on.
love his accent.
Yeah,
I was tweeting you the other day saying I would have interpreted it for you for Husey because I'm from Belfast as well and I can barely understand him.
Yeah, no, I had no problem with him. Unfortunately, my ex-wife is from Ireland, so really don't like that place too much. You guys,
So what'd you do for your birthday?
Nothing much, not a lot. I just
called into his favorite
chilled in the
podcast.
house, smoked a lot of cannabis and drank a lot of wine.
High and drunk as
Okay, he's a fellow wino. I
It's
like
his
my wine.
birthday.
Yeah.
Let him
I'm
live
not
his
judging.
me,
I am not judging.
Let me ask you a question. The weed you get over in Ireland, now, Ireland's still illegal across the board, right? You're not supposed to have weed?
Yeah.
All right. Does it come from Amsterdam, though? Like, do you get your weed from there?
It comes from a lot of different places. The guy I get my weed off, he orders a lot of weed from the dark web, so it's
The
from
dark
like California, and it's from all over the place. It's
Yeah.
from everywhere.
Okay. It's just, Amsterdam's kind of accessible to you guys a lot
Have
more
you ever
easy.
have you ever been to Amsterdam before?
I've never been to Europe. I'm trying to stay away from there forever.
Wait. I need.
I was actually supposed to be in Amsterdam this week. My girlfriend had booked for me and her to go to Amsterdam for my birthday, but because of coronavirus,
Wait a minute.
it wasn't
I
me.
want to rewind, Aaron. Dark web.
Yeah.
The dark web.
Now,
Tell me what the dark web.
I've heard about the dark web, but let me ask you a question. Isn't it true though, like once you kind of get involved in that circle, now you're just like you're the dark web person.
It's like the mafia. Like, once you're in, there's no out. Like, now you know about it. And
Well, to be fair, I don't use it, so I get my drugs off a friend. So he would be the one that would be surfing the dark web. I just get it from him.
yeah.
I wouldn't have.
I would
the
be so
technical ability
nervous.
Well, you got to
to
do a
use
bunch
it.
of
I
shit
wouldn't
just to
trust
get there.
myself to use it either.
Yeah, you could buy body parts and shit off
Oh,
the dark
you can,
web.
like-
You can buy everything.
You got people
Everything.
murdered on there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking freaky to me. I don't even like to type it in. I'm like, I don't ever want that in my search engine.
I've seen the browser. Now my friend showed me. We were on Skype one time, and the way on Skype you can do the screen share thing, so he can show you his screen on his computer.
Yeah.
And he was on there, showing me literally everything.
See, I wouldn't even want that in case somehow they can read your IP. You know what I
It's
mean?
scary
Like,
fucking
because
thought.
with computers, like, they can do the
Makes the
craziest
guy on
shit.
the corner sound like a real good idea right
Yeah,
now.
it's like-
Just
The guy,
saying,
the guy in the
no
van's not the
records.
worst anymore.
He's not keeping books. He's just coming with his scale and his bags and calling it a day.
Anyway, with the sort of the protests and the riots and the coronavirus, is it sort of settled down a bit, or is it still mad?
We're more like in the the island. We're in Long Island, so we're not by the city. Luckily, we're like an hour from there. We're not really
But
in
they
the
entered
areas.
phase 2 as of today.
Phase
right?
3 was today.
Phase 3 was
Phase
today.
3 up in
so
New York.
Things are starting to open up
I
here.
thought that was tomorrow.
And New
Yeah,
Yorkers,
we have
surprisingly,
more.
Why don't you
It
just
is
shut me
tomorrow.
down? It
You're-
is
you're
New
tomorrow.
right, it
Yorkers
is.
surprisingly are being
love you.
like good and wearing masks and like they're kind of behaving, which is very un-New York like.
Well, because they don't want to get grounded again.
No, well
Oh my
that
God,
and
we
because
totally got grounded.
the-
We did
I
for,
think
like,
too, like
3 fucking
9/11
months.
kind of put like a little fire under everyone's ass. Like, oh, we're not an untouchable city and we can get fucked up. And it's still a little fresh where that reminder of, fuck, all right, we're in this together. Everyone pull together and don't fuck this up. Like,
Yeah.
they were looking at the protesters and rioters. They were like, please stop.
Right.
Please.
we want to be
stop.
able to go outside
Yeah,
and
no.
have a summer.
We want to play today.
Like,
Please, please, please.
We totally understand your sentiment, but please
No,
stop.
it's true. It is. But it's
it just can't go on too much longer. Like it's just fucking dragging in now. It's been like what 9-10 weeks.
it has. You guys have curfew over there?
Well, we're sort of eased off of it because I'm in Northern Ireland. We're not part of the mainland UK, so our numbers and things like that haven't been so bad. So like we have sort of like bars and restaurants are starting to open up this week.
Yeah.
So I'm a DJ. I'm a nightclub DJ. So like the likes of nightclubs.
You're just
and
a
things
party
like
boy
that,
in
yeah.
a party boy in a bottle, man. He's like, I like wine and I party boy.
Have you ever had to deal with the IRA?
What's the IRA?
No, thankfully not. But I've DJed in a few IRA sort of.
IRA is like the what does that stand for? The Irish Rebel Alliance.
Oh my God!
But see, compared to like the mafia and things like that, they're not.
They're like this rogue group
They're not
of-
a big deal, like.
They're like this rogue group of like militant people that like in the 80s they were pretty fucked up. Like, they were causing some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God we're not in
It's
the
not so
80s
bad
anymore.
now. I mean, I was born in the 90s, so I was sort of born
90s.
just as all that sort of
Oh, I
crazy
feel old
shit
now.
was phasing out.
Ah, you
Girl,
missed all
you
the
were
fun.
lying.
I'm the oldest one in the room, so fuck you all.
All right, brother.
No, it's not so bad. Here, listen, before you start me, I just wanted to say, Rocky and Jess and Richie, I think you guys are probably one of the best non-Russo shows on his brand.
Thank you.
You just don't get enough credit. I know you always joke about. I see it on Twitter where Vince Russo doesn't put you over enough, but to be honest, he doesn't need to because you guys are fucking rocking.
Thank you so much.
The show. I love the honesty. I just love how open you are. You just talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. I love it. So yeah, it's really great to call in. It was just by chance. Literally, I was getting steaming, like I said, what do you call it? Getting
drunk,
wasted.
getting fucking wasted.
Getting wasted. I was doing a live stream.
What time is it there?
It is. It's 2:30 a.m.
Oh my god! You are a damn trooper. We love
Aaron, we
you.
love you. Thank you for
Thank
those
you
nice
so
words,
much.
brother. Happy
So I just
birthday.
wanna
Happy
say
birthday,
love the show. Thanks for the birthday
Thanks.
wishes.
You got it, honey.
Absolutely, brother.
I'm going to call in again sometime, but
Oh yeah,
You should.
definitely.
keep rocking it. Keep her lit. That's what they say in Belfast. Keep her lit.
All right, thanks,
All right,
baby. Have
brother.
a good
Take it easy.
night.
Happy birthday.
Hey,
Bye.
guys, cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Aaron Pavis, everybody. What a nice man.
He really is, and you know what? He is always and been always retweeting us out and resending us out and sending us love,
Yeah.
and that was super awesome. I hope he has the best birthday, and I hope your girlfriend sucks your dick.
Yeah, well, she
Straight
should.
up.
I mean, goddamn.
Give
it's
this
your
guy a blowjob.
At least twice a year, birthday and Christmas.
Oh,
Right?
twice a year. I'm
Twice
with
a
you.
year.
It's tied
I'm
up.
saying
Yeah.
hypothetically, if you
Like
can't
twice a
even
day.
do it for the birthday, you've got problems.
Twice a year, I would go, okay, my jaw hurts on a regular basis, okay? I'm married. That's what I do. I suck
goes
his dick.
both
Well,
ways,
listen,
though.
if you can't suck the dick, you
It
have
goes
to at least
both
give up
ways.
the ass.
Oh,
No?
anything he wants, he could take, and he knows it.
My tongue is rough like a cat's after a week with her.
Oh my God!
He's just training
Oh,
you properly.
you know, the truth of the
That's
matter
all.
is, half the time I'm like, "Come on, baby," and he's like, "No, I need to do that first." I'm like, "Okay," you know, I'm not gonna say no.
It's like I say, you don't have a Ferrari and keep it in the garage. Like, what's the
No,
point?
that just makes no
Yeah,
sense.
you play
It makes
with
me
it.
feel so good.
But you play with it.
I love it.
I mean, you know.
So here's something now that we're talking about blowjobs and stuff. I wanted to talk
Oh,
about
my
us
bad.
ladies quick because you're here. You always hear about like guys liking edible panties or they like strawberries and chocolate and whipped creams and all that stuff. But like, if they only knew what it really does to us when we have sugar and stuff inside there and all over us, how do you feel about using lubricants? Hold on, lubricants and like those edible things that usually are not the best
For your vagina.
for your vagina.
Well, I think there's a big difference between lubes, though, and things that
Are
are like
edible.
edible
Yes.
panties, because lubes are made for that purpose. They're made for anal sex, vaginal sex, so they're not going to really fuck with you. But the
Yeah.
second you're wearing something,
Yeah, like, you know,
that's when it gets a
Alright,
little
quick question.
funky.
Out of the three of you, how many times collectively have you worn some kind of an edible or had edible things put on you or food or...
I've actually
see, that's-
my ex and I used to use like the edible body butters and stuff like that all the time.
Really?
I have actually
Those make
never
me
used
nauseous.
anything
Yeah,
edible.
I've-
Some of
Never
them
have.
do. There's some flavors that are not
Katie?
bad.
A zero on that? No food ever?
No, there's been food involved. You want me to
No.
take like a body
No,
count?
No, but there have.
it's
All right.
not like that. But you know,
No.
I was just wondering because a lot
It's
of
not my
those.
favorite. I'm
No,
not going to
because
say no if that's
I
what
have
you're
never
into.
heard a single one of my friends ever been like, "Yeah, we got edible, what like
Edible
never,
panties.
I've
it's
never
just-
used like edible panties, but we've used like
but not like
food
even like the
things,
chocolate
like-
syrup thing. I've
yes.
never.
It's not. Listen, if that's what you're into, great.
Right.
If you're telling me that's what you want,
Fine.
awesome. Let's do it. But am I actively being like, yo, what we have to do tonight is break out the Hershey's?
No,
Like, that's
no,
not
you don't
happening.
No, but some people do though.
No, but some people 100%
Yeah,
do.
some people do,
See,
and like
there's
then
a
then how
fed
does
life
it
for
end up
everybody in
there?
that.
Like how are you like we're in the midst of fucking? It's like you know what make this
let me
better.
go get that chocolate. Hold
Chocolate
on.
syrup.
But
I-
this is my
I'm not going
thought.
to turn down an ice cube though.
This is my thought. I'm like, you know, in the interim of being physical, like again, we've spoke of this before. I like food. I like to eat right after I have sex. I wouldn't even mind. You ever seen that Seinfeld where George has a sandwich under the pillow?
You got the TV,
Oh my God!
TV, the
I'm
sandwich.
telling you, I get so
Trifecta.
hungry while I'm having sex. I love to eat. So I was just thinking today, another thought that came in so amazingly, when people want to bring food into like the sexual acts, like how do you feel or react to that? Like if someone was like, you know what I would love? I would love to take guacamole and wrap it around your nipple and lick it off.
no, it's-
I would kind of just be like, guacamole? I don't know.
See, I'm just the type of person
That's
that's
just
like,
wasteful at that point.
Yeah.
But-
That's guacamole. That's the line right there.
like I see
Yeah.
anything else, like I equate it to like drinking. Like people who drink and like play games when they drink. Like me, I'm like
Play games like what?
like flip
quarters?
cup or anything, the beer pong, anything.
Oh.
I'm like, I'll just drink. Like I don't need a game to drink.
Yeah.
I don't
And it's
mind
the same
games
with sex.
sometimes,
Yeah.
though.
No, but it's the same with sex. Like, just want to get in
Just
there
wanna
and
fuck,
have
get
the
in,
se-
get out,
not,
enjoy
no,
it,
not
and-
get in, get out. I want to fuck. I don't want to have
He's
food
the
or like,
longest ever in all sexual that I've ever had in my life, because he's so, I want to touch you here every time. And I love that. Don't get me wrong. But he'll take his time. It's just.
because there's not many things in life more pleasurable than sex. So why would you want to rush that? That doesn't
Right.
make sense to me.
Agreed.
Like, this is a great time.
Yeah.
We're all having a swell time, aren't we?
Sometimes though, we
You know,
got
like-
kids
But I'd
sleeping
rather
over.
be fucking.
Well,
That's
yeah.
what we're getting at.
Sometimes you have
I'm
to
like, come on, baby,
let's
I
just-
love you, but we got 3 kids sleeping next door. Like, we need to kind of get this going along. But I just thought to myself, I don't remember where I heard it, but I did hear how food was brought into a sexual thing, and I was like, I don't know if that would even be pleasurable. Plus, also, you could get serious infections from sugars or sweets or anything being inside of you, and like to put it on their dick and then put their dick inside of you.
Because
Like, don't
it's
you
not
know?
something you can do and then just continue the moment. Now we have to go wash
it
shit
off.
off. And now we're killing the vibe. You know,
little
like
bit.
you're interrupting the vibe
That's
now.
something that has to be like planned ahead. That's not really spontaneous unless you're fucking in the kitchen, I guess.
Or if you have like a plate next to the bed.
like I don't
Yeah, like you're eating,
Like
I
just
don't know.
some
ice
spaghetti
foods
and
I fully
meatballs.
endorse and are fun. But the second
You like take a piece of spaghetti, you're like,
Oh my
you
god.
suck it up, and the sauce is slapping you in the face, and you're just like, I love it. You know? I love it.
eating spaghetti out of the asshole is off the
Oh
table.
my god! How you getting the spaghetti in your asshole?
What I would do to turn you on is take 2 pieces of uncooked spaghetti and put them right in the middle of your nipples and then just push in.
Wait,
that would be
what?
hot. Right? Wouldn't that be hot?
That
Wait,
sounds-
If I just
I'm
take
like
2
into
pieces
the-
of uncooked spaghetti right in the middle of your
Put
nipple
it through
and
my
just
piercing holes,
push in.
though.
Yeah, like you could probably put them through my earring hole too.
No, I don't want to do that. I just want to push them in.
Just
into your-
push my nipple with a hard piece of pasta.
Where the
Well,
bread,
yeah, the
where
spaghetti.
the bread milk, where the breast milk used
See,
to
now
come
I
from.
feel
know about that tomorrow.
Now I feel like it. Now I feel like you might be getting more.
Let's do this food thing. I'm into it.
No food. Forget it.
Completely turning her off the
Changing
food
the
thing.
whole
you
thing
see?
now. Now
In
it
case there
changes.
was a thought there, now I'm letting her know where I'm going to go with it.
I'm gonna go in the room and I'm literally gonna have a pack of fucking ranzoni spaghetti in the box. He's gonna be like, "You ready?
Yeah.
You ready for?" As long as you could poke. As long as I get to poke you back with that.
No,
pasta.
you're the one who invited
I'm gonna
the food.
grab your penis and I'm just gonna push it in the hole.
That's
God,
called
that's
sounding.
That's called what?
Sounding.
What's sounding?
It's a sexual
I
fetish that
actually
some men have.
heard about that. It's
They take
terrifying.
like a metal pole and they'll stick it in there, and then there's different gauges, like a ear hole type thing.
And you can make your penis hole bigger.
And they'll
Yeah.
spread their penis and stretch it.
Oh, that just
and-
sounds
yeah.
painful.
I don't understand that one at all.
But again, whatever makes people happy. I don't care.
I
It
don't
doesn't
have a
affect me.
penis
You want to
and
stick
that
things in your
hurts
dick?
me.
Go ahead.
I think
Just
about
be careful and keep it clean.
yeah, I think about the dirtiness of it. Forget everything else.
And, like,
It's
what if they
Talk
accidentally
about the
push it
infections
in?
of strawberries
Back
near
to
your
your-
vagina.
I know.
But what if they
Yeah.
push it in too far and you can't grab it? Or you go to grab it and it was in a little too
And
deep
that's
and
how
then
you
it
hear about
slips
those
in?
crazy ER stories
Oh
with the
my
gerbils
God.
in
Ew,
there.
ew, ew.
Yeah, like you don't want to be that
That's
guy.
how it happens.
Like, why are you here?
Oh my God.
Something stuck inside my dick. No,
Oh,
thank
no.
you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, and spaghetti too. It snaps so fast in half, and pieces would get stuck
Oh.
up there.
Yeah.
Can I just recommend fettuccine then?
Oh my God! Try a little bit of linguine, you know.
And if you're a
Not
little
the
looser,
angel
the
hair guy.
lasagna noodles. If you're a little looser.
Fuck that, the gemellis, because then you just twist it like a screwdriver.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God! Ew! I totally just got off of like the sexiness, and now it's just crazy.
It's dead now.
It is a crazy subject.
No,
So-
food should never be brought into that.
okay,
in my
so then
opinion.
the edible panties is kind of ridiculous.
Of course it is. It's stupid.
You gotta really actually.
I don't even
eat-
like regular panties on you. Now I want some sticky mess
Does
down
it
there.
taste
And then
like-
let's say it's like a hot night and then like the stickiness gets there and you don't. know about it, and you start banging, and now you have that
Oh,
sticky
God, that's-
stretch.
Oh.
Like you ever have like a marshmallow in between your finger?
Oh my God!
Terrible
Fruit roll up
feeling.
almost melted.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God!
And that's your stomach
Hard
squeeze,
pass.
just pressing against and then peeling apart.
Oh God!
You basically
no.
need a plastic sheet on the bed before it happens.
I did.
Shower
Yeah.
immediately.
You may as well do it in the shower.
Yeah,
That
I
would be
mean,
the best bet.
to eat while you're in the shower.
But
now
I
that
do believe the whole thing about edible panties is that it has to be on warm skin.
Like, what is
That's
the point?
Causes it. It's a whole thing.
What is
It's
the point?
science, guys.
it's
but-
back to science. Okay, fuck the TV noise. Fuck the edible panties. Out. Spaghetti.
But I don't get the point of the edible panty. Like I don't even
don't
want her regular
understand.
panties on.
Those
I
are
have
for
to now
people
work.
that need the
and eat
extras and
something?
accessories because just being with each other,
That's not going to help.
you know, they want more. They want something else. They
I
want
will
the
not
extras.
fuck you
Yeah.
unless you have edible
Yeah.
panties.
I mean,
know
I don't
what?
think
I
that's
find you
exactly
completely
a deal
un-
breaker for
no,
people.
right.
But-
But
I'll still fuck
I
you.
find you
oh,
com-
I'm into it.
but
See how she said that?
I saw.
Yeah, all right.
I don't blame
Just
her.
sound good
I
out
don't
there.
blame her. She's one of many. She's one of many. But it's like I find you completely unattractive. Now throw on this piece of fruit roll up, and now we're
now
in.
we're
now
ready.
we're ready.
We're ready
But
to
no,
go.
that's
I don't
not
know.
how
I
things
just
work.
I figured I'd talk about it because I thought it was
No,
kind
it
of-
is a good subject, but I completely am like, no, that sounds
not
silly.
your jam.
Yeah, no, it's silly.
All right. So his birthday, edible
Edible
panties,
panties.
Yeah.
and spaghetti.
Yeah.
That is your
Sounding
job.
and sounding.
Got it.
And sounding. We're gonna get that little metal pole there.
All right.
So let's get past this edibleness. New word I came up with here. Edibleness.
Fiddleless.
And let's go on to something else, a little bit more serious, actually, and I'm having a little anxiety about it. So, you know, we have all this stuff going on with the coronavirus, the protests, the school shootings, the everything going on, right?
There's been no school for months.
There has actually been a shooting about 2 months ago, and I believe it was in Texas.
school shooting.
Yes. And this is my thing. I have a 5-year-old going into kindergarten. Her preschool got cut in half. She didn't even get a full year of 3 hours a day away from me. Okay. And now September, I'm supposed to send her for 7 hours, is it? Or 6?
Was it like 9:30 to 2:30 or
Yeah.
something?
So I'm supposed to send her all day, and I'm supposed to put her on a bus with no seatbelts and a random
They have
bus
seatbelts
driver.
now.
Yeah, but no kids wear them.
Yeah.
I never wore.
How-
There was a seatbelt
We've
on a
done
bus when
this.
I went to
We've
school.
done
I
this.
never
We
wore
haven't
it.
done.
We have done this because I'm about to say the same exact thing I said last time. We did it as kids, and you were fine. It's what you do as a kid. You go on the bus and you go to school. That's how you
It's
make
your right to
friends.
fucking
That's how
pass
you
it.
find out what friends live around you. So it's a lot easier to hang out with friends because I can
Yeah.
walk around the block to their house.
Plus, you can always follow the bus.
Well,
if you
I
really
was
want
thinking
to.
of possibly driving her in and letting her bus home.
What's the difference?
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Say that
what-
one more
what
time.
the-
Driving her in and letting her bus home.
Well, what's the
But
difference?
what's the difference?
Well, because the first couple days that I'm driving her in, I get to go to see the teacher, get to see the
Oh,
school.
you mean
get
just
to,
for a few days?
just to get myself comfortable. And I'm talking about this again because I spoke about it last night with somebody, and it was stuck in my head. Sorry for bringing up another subject that we've spoken about. Mr. Perfect. But I'm having issues about it, thinking about her going on a bus with someone else driving.
But that's just because you're nervous in general because that's your child and
Yeah.
you're trusting someone you've never
Yeah.
met. You have no idea who they are.
You expect
and-
her to be able to go to school without you, but you can't let her go to school without all this panic?
I don't want her to
She's
go to
she's a
school.
little
Just
child.
let her to
You're
go
an
on the
adult.
bus,
I don't
follow
want
her
her
to
to
your
go to
car, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe for the first couple times.
Yeah, just follow her. You have to, you should. You don't have to.
Louis
Don't
got on
shake
the
your
let
bus.
her have the
Louis got on the
experience
bus.
that we all have.
We all sent Lewis off on the bus. She's going on the bus.
There'll be a crowd. It's a party.
We will.
I don't know anybody in the area her age.
It doesn't matter. My
Listen,
mother
just
will be
let
there.
me know
Your
what
mother will
time
be
it
there.
is.
We'll
I
be
went into
there.
work late one day
And
when my
Nicole will
friend's daughter
come.
went.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Like everyone will be there, and they'll all send her off, and she'll be like, "This is fucking
Yeah.
awesome! Look, everyone's here."
And we'll
And
all
it's gonna
be
be
here to
great.
console you when the bus drives away.
We'll have
Oh
the
my
wine
God, I'm
ready
gonna
at
be the
9
worst.
o'clock in the morning. It's fine.
And then I have all that time on my hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna get a hobby.
I can work. I can
You
work.
can work
I
during
can work,
those
but I'm a
times.
little bit worried about it. I just can't help it. It's just, I don't know. I think about that. Like, this is coming now, 2 months.
Yeah, she'll
But
be
it's
fine. She's a
normal.
tough
So
kid.
you have 2 months
Like
to
you're
prepare
worrying about
yourself.
Valentina. That's the craziest part.
Yeah.
Worry about the other kids that are going to be on the bus with Valentina. Worry about them.
You're gonna get notes
yeah,
every day.
Valentina's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Trust me.
She is going to be fine.
What are you kidding me? Like she runs this household. She's got
Kana used to
a
take
20.
the bus from fucking Holbrook to West Islip to go to school every day.
All right.
Well, she's got a 20-year-old and a 10-year-old that she runs their fucking lives. All right? Do you think she's going to have problems with fucking 5-year-olds? What are you kidding me?
She'll be fine.
All right.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment.
It is
My
an
friend went through it
adjustment.
last year for the first time. We all were there. There were like 15 of us waiting on the deck while she went off on the bus. Let me tell you, this little girl got on the bus. Bye.
Lewis did the same
And that
thing.
was it.
Remember, Lou did the
Yeah.
same thing. He
That
got
was it.
right on there. He was
They're
like,
so
later.
excited. For
Yeah.
years, she would tell me, Katie, I want to go on the bus. I want to go on the bus. You're not big enough. You're not big enough. And this year, she finally came home and was like,
here's the problem.
I
The
got
way
on the
she
bus.
is, the cord's not cut, and that goes both ways.
Yeah.
Tina is a clingy motherfucker.
well, I mean, what are you going to do? You going to homeschool her?
No.
You going to make her one of those kids?
No.
That doesn't know how to
They
socialize?
enable each other.
She is so social. It's like unbelievable. But
There
no,
you go. There
I
you go.
don't want her to be homeschooled. I want her to have
So then the options are...
me dropping her off or her going on a bus.
You need to let her spread her wings.
I don't want her to have wings. No, I.
She's a
those.
And you
peacock,
need to
Jess.
spread yours a little
She's
more.
a peacock. You gotta let her fly.
We
Gotta
had
let
to
her
Google
fly.
that last week.
There is no
remember?
peacock flying.
Yeah,
Peacocks,
yeah.
can they fly?
I'm all
Or is that
for it.
Zach?
I love it because
No, I think
this
it
is
was
a
Zach.
new
No,
stage in
I think
life.
was the
It
thing.
is a new stage in life. I
Well,
guess it's just
positive.
worried me more because of everything that's going on all at once,
And
and,
as
it's
a
like
kid,
No, it wasn't
like,
peacocks.
it's-
It was turkeys.
No, that's when we were at the beach. Zach and I talked about peacocks.
bitches side talking now.
Sorry.
No, tell the whole story
Oh,
then.
so
We didn't know
you
turkeys.
said
could fly.
throwing her fucking
I'm sorry.
phone.
I'm sorry.
No.
So you were talking about peacocks flying, and our son Zach and I were watching The Masked Singer.
Yeah.
And we saw peacocks, and someone said something about peacocks being able to fly, and him and I started laughing
They
because we
can.
never realized they could fly. So we're like, "Oh, this is stupid. You think peacocks can fly?" So we Googled it,
And you were
and it
stupid.
turns out we were really
Yeah.
stupid.
When did Jess find out? At the Bronx Zoo.
I did.
There was,
There
a,
fucking
peacock
peacock at the
on top of a
building.
building. And she goes, how did it get up there? Did they put them up there?
He's like me.
I genuinely thought.
Except you wouldn't go, did they put them up there?
I thought that maybe they would put them like to
Like
be
it's someone's job in the morning.
around
All right,
and
and build a peacock up on the building.
Peacock,
Sit
I
on
know
your
you don't.
perch.
I know you don't fly, but you're gonna stand on this very small, tiny little leg
maybe
for
they
the whole
can
day.
glide to get down if they wanted. I was so high up
But then
there.
how
Every
would
few-
they get up?
I don't know.
You were so
Every
high.
few
Were they
hours
in
or
a
so, they
baby
clean up the
Bjorn
dead.
and, like,
Oh my God. You know
all
what?
climbed up?
I may not know everything, but the things I know are real. They're real.
Aliens and ghosts.
Hey, I don't even say ghost.
And
I
the
say
fact that we live
energy.
on a peninsula.
Hey, listen, I didn't know that the bridges was what held us together. You know, it's not fair because
She thought Long Island.
I thought that we were.
Wasn't an
Honey, please
island.
don't say what I'm about to think.
She didn't think it was
I
an
thought we
island.
were connected to like Jersey or the city somewhere.
I'm not gonna say what.
There's
it is.
literally.
I-
There's literally another city in between us from the mainland.
I didn't know that. All right, I thought like Long Island was just a name. Like we call it fucking Long Island, but I
So
thought
what did
we
you
had
think about
one.
Staten Island then?
I
Was
also
Staten Island an
thought-
island or no?
I didn't think so.
Block Island.
Block Island, I've been to. I knew
Do
it was
you
an island.
know
so
the
that one's
people who
definitely-
Shelter
live?
Island.
The people who
Fire
live on Staten Island mostly.
Fuck you all, because
No,
as
hold
I'm
on.
listening to you, I'm saying, wow, you sound stupid, Jessica.
No, but most of the people on Staten Island take the Staten Island ferry. They don't even like travel via roads. They take the ferry to the city and then travel
I
from
thought
there.
we were connected
Roosevelt
somewhere
Island.
to the city. I don't know why.
by bridges and tunnels.
And I don't, I thought that, what else really you weren't here for that I thought was pretty crazy?
I'm ready.
I asked if at some point weight people would matter on an island because we were in Florida at
Star Island.
Star
or
Island,
like
something, and I was like, babe, what if there was a lot of people? Like, would the water come up? Like, does the land push down? And he goes, Jessica, the land connects completely through. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me that I go in
It's
the
just a
water?
floating rock.
You're so pretty.
And somehow doesn't drift away to sea.
Person I've ever met in my entire
didn't-
life.
Hey, ready for this one? Let's just. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, but let's say 36 years, my lovely wife thought a cardigan sweater was a carnigan
Yeah,
sweater.
put on your cardigan.
For
Your
30
cardigan. No, of course.
and I didn't know it was a D.
No, to be fair, also, like, what is, okay,
But
so
for 36
Polish
years-
sausage is kielbasa, right? I've called it my entire
Kielbasa.
33 years.
Kielbasa.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're not Polish. That's a
right,
difference.
but I've been corrected for the last 5
That's
years of my
fine.
life that I've been saying
But again,
it wrong.
you shouldn't know that. You're not Polish. You're not in that culture. Why should you know
But
that?
you know what a
but
cardigan is.
But I mean, that's like when Monica used to say, "I'm just a little goyle."
Yeah,
that's
but
not how you.
How old
say
is
it.
Monica?
But all right, how old?
Let her
Is
say
she
a cardigan.
38? Is she
I
38?
just, it sounded,
I'm gonna wear a cardigan tomorrow to
it
work.
sounded like a cardigan, like you have a cardigan sweater. And I was talking to my daughter, and this is how it came up. And I'm like, the cardigan and whatever, and Valentina. And somehow it came out, and Rocky was like, it's not cardigan. And I'm like, well, I'm not really good at spelling, and I thought it was an N. It sounded like an
No,
N.
it sounds like a D. Cardigan.
Cardigan.
Cardigan. There's even a band, the Cardigans. Remember, love me,
yes,
me,
I
say
enjoyed
that
them.
you love me. That was the Cardigans.
No, it was the carnigans.
It's
Just
not
to be
even-
clear.
Cardigans.
It's not fair that my non-knowledge.
Yeah, but now you know.
Now I feel very knowledgey.
But
Knowledge.
But you're so beautiful, babe.
That's not fair.
You
What?
are
You are-
so beautiful.
I mean, it would be really stupid to think,
To
though,
me.
that water couldn't come over the land. At
Well,
some
no, it
point.
can, absolutely, yes.
But that's with just the
It's called erosion.
water
I was
level
just gonna say.
Yeah.
rising, right?
Yes. Like
So nowhere in the world
that's
is
why
just land
I'm
and
also
nothing
like
underneath.
in a quick rush to get off this island
There's no
because like
peak.
eventually that's going to happen.
It's gonna erode.
The ocean's just going to swallow this place.
Have you guys
So-
been down Port? You can see all the way. If you go all the way down to the end of Main Street, there's like a street sign all the way out there because there used to be land out there,
So-
and it's been getting eroded.
But
for
no,
years and
I don't go
years.
down Port. I hate that place.
Oh, I haven't been there for a while, but I did
Yeah.
used to hang out down
Oh,
there
I
and
hate it
get
down
into
there.
the
Question.
shenanigans.
Question. So little islands that are by themselves, little ones, like, they go all the way through. There's land that goes all the way
Yes,
through.
Jess, none of them are floating.
No islands float.
No. They don't. Otherwise, they'd float into the middle of the ocean, babe, like a boat. They wouldn't just stay in one spot. There's no anchor to keep it there. They're connected.
I don't know if I necessarily believe that.
Well, you don't have to. It's a fact.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they would
current.
float away.
It's called current.
Yeah, it would be pushed away and be gone.
But what if it was like at some point maybe a little connection, but it was like movable? Like maybe if it
What?
went down to a point but didn't connect.
Like
What?
your brain.
Thank you. Good one.
I hate you!
Good one. Wow. Wow. She fucking threw that out and just banged you in the head with it.
My
I love
brain.
you. I love you so
That was
much.
incredible.
You're my favorite.
Nicole,
I love you.
Nicole wins for the
Ah,
night.
say it.
Nicole wins for the night.
She doesn't win.
She is now.
She
She
wins
doesn't
for
win
the
for the
night.
night. There's no win there. That's a lose. And I'm going upstairs when I do upstairs, and I'm gonna look and find an island.
That isn't connected to anything.
It's so funny you looked at me when I said the upstairs twice. Like, what did she fucking say?
When
that
I go
twice?
upstairs and I do
Jimmy two
upstairs.
times. I'm gonna go get the papers.
That's
get the
okay because I
papers.
was Jessica two band-aids.
Yeah,
Jessica two
that's
cuts
it.
today.
That's it.
Anyway, all right. At
She
that
said
point,
Jessica
I'm gonna
two
just start to close out.
We're gonna wrap it up there.
Yeah. I need to look this up. I need some time to do some research.
On an island.
I want to know if there's
But a
any
floating
islands that
island.
float.
A floating,
A floating
land.
island.
My
But
homework while
hold on.
pretending to work
To
tomorrow.
be fair, to her point, Pangea was when all the continents were connected, and they did separate. So how did they separate and then stop and connect to something? Is it because there's such a large mass that they just kind of settled, or did they grow something and connect over time? Like,
But the whole thing with Pangea, from what I remember from 20 years ago
Yeah,
in
yeah.
high school,
Doesn't it have to do with
was
like the
that
tectonic
the
plates or
tectonic
something?
plates and the whole thing shifts from the bottom.
The
So
techno-
it's not
Oh,
that
it's-
it's
Yes,
actually
the
disconnecting
techno plates,
from
that's
what
the
it's
tectonic
attached
I
to.
get what you're saying.
The whole thing just
the thing that everything's attached to cracked.
like
and
the
moves
base,
around.
and it
Oh,
all-
that makes total sense.
now.
Okay.
I might be crazy and just making that up.
No,
No,
you're
no,
not,
that's
because I
no,
just said
because
the
I
same
remember
thing.
that. Now that you say it, I remember the terminology tectonic
Yeah.
plates.
Yes.
And what you're saying
It's one
makes
of the
total sense.
few
Okay.
things that I paid
Yes.
attention
And
to.
anyone
in
that
high
disagrees
school.
with me can eat a bag of dicks.
Eat a
right
bag of
now.
dicks. And you know what? She's absolutely 100% right. In fact, and you know why? She said it on a podcast, and she has a microphone in front of her.
And that's right.
And
It
it's
makes it
Katie.
true.
It's now law.
It's Katie, so-
It's now law. You know?
That's it.
The Katie law.
We said it.
All right.
Guys, I had such an awesome time. Thanks, Aaron, for calling in. Happy fucking birthday
Happy
again.
birthday,
We love
brother.
you.
Happy birthday.
And everybody who tuned in tonight, I really appreciate it. And we're excited to hopefully, when I come back next week, I will have documentation of floating islands, carnigans, because maybe there's a company that makes sweaters like cardigans and they're called carnigan. And I will prove those points.
I bet you there is.
And she's going to prove that Long Island's a
All right.
peninsula.
Yeah.
We love you guys, and we will.
See you next Tuesday.